I just didn't want to make another trip into the remote location. So, anyways, I came in here to hunt my other stand, which is much closer to the parking area. And I was still late getting in here. It was probably 20 after 7 by the time I was in the tree and settled in. But, nobody tells the deer what time they're supposed to be here, so. Anyways, historically, so far this year, my cameras have showed me that this stand is primarily a morning stand and not necessarily early morning. So I felt good about coming in here, and sure enough, I just had a cool little encounter with a small buck. It's a little spike buck. I never did look at him through the binoculars, but just the way he was acting, and I'm pretty sure I could see a little bit of white on his head. But he came in and kept sniffing the ground like he was on a mission, and then he went over, and next thing I know, I hear him crossing the creek. That's the only deer I see this morning. Not a total fail, but only got down into the low 50s overnight, so it was pretty pleasant this morning. And just gonna hang out here for a couple more hours, and who knows? See what we can see. Buck, doe, and bear tags all in hand. Anything's fair game. Well, what an exciting morning it's been. I've had a couple more deer encounters since I last checked in. Had a doe with a real small fawn start to work their way in behind me, and she was just acting really weird. And then I seen her tuck her tail and turn and go a completely different direction than what she was coming. And that's when I noticed that there was a small buck harassing her. Anyways, they disappeared in the brush behind me, and I thought for sure they'd work their way on up one side or the other of me here. Never seen them. Okay. Well, anyways, probably 20 minutes after that, then I caught movement off to my left, and I looked, and there was that small buck. And tried to get some Taxicam footage of all these deer that I've seen here today, seen this morning rather. anyways, just been all around a fun sit. I mean, they've kind of been spaced out. I got in the stand at 7:27. Seen my first deer at 8:18. Seen the next deer at 9:09, and then had another encounter at 9:23. So, yeah, pretty cool. It was such a heavy dew last night. The leaves are wet, and I have not heard a single deer. I've seen them. So I've had to have my head on a swivel because the forest floor is so quiet right now. But the leaves are just pouring down, and I think it's going to get warm and really crunchy for this afternoon. So I'm going to go ahead and hop down. I'm going to pull camera cards and work my way out. Got some things I got to take care of midday here, but I'll definitely be back in the woods this afternoon. We'll see you then. Well, guys, there's the first for me. So, no big surprise that there were deer already in here. But I think it was the same group of four I seen last night. Yeah, the three of them bounced away and kept moving away from me, while there was one in the back, which actually looked like a really nice big doe that, same as last night, kept hanging back and hanging back. Anyways, I thought, what are the odds? I went ahead and knocked an arrow, got ready. I just come around this turn, and she was still standing there. I went ahead to full draw. She started walking. I probably should have stopped her, but anyways, I let one fly, and she didn't go where the other deer went. I seen her run a semicircle out in front of me. I can see my arrow, my lighted knock flashing up ahead. So we're going to go up there, see what the arrow looked like, and decide what to do. I mean, I'm just on my way into my stand for the night. Well, that's a bummer. I thought the shot looked low. Yep. No blood at all. And I have no idea what this liquid is. I mean, I know the shot placement was good as far as being tucked behind the front leg, but maybe just a little smear of blood. I may have just ticked her belly. Damn it. Well, a little bit of hair on the broadhead. And of course, you've seen it was actually stuck here in this tree. So, I don't see anything else. I'll turn the camera back on when I know something more. Well, guys, I don't know what to think. I mean, I've got blood. Actually looks probably pretty decent blood. And the shot was definitely lower than what I would have liked. So hopefully I caught something vital in there. I'm just creeping ever so slowly on this blood trail, just scanning and scanning out in front of me and listening. I hope I find her dead up here, but I'm guessing that she either went into some grass and went down, or went far enough away and went down, if she went down, because I didn't hear her pile up. But we're going to take this blood nice and easy, see what happens. What do you guys think? Think I'm going to find this deer? I sure hope so. Well, the answer to that last question is no, I don't get the deer. So, I still believe the shot was really low. More like a flesh wound, because it was almost like a runny fat that was all over the shaft of the arrow. And anyways, it was easy to get excited when I was seeing the blood that was on the ground, but that kind of blood didn't last for long, and eventually I did come up on the deer. It was bedded down. I didn't see it before it stood up, and there was no chance for a shot because the brush was just too thick. I watched the deer to see where it went, and then after it was out of sight, I went over to the bed, and there was almost zero blood in the bed, which explains why I had such a hard time trying to find blood just to get that far after the initial. The wound was clotting and the blood was stopping. I watched the deer. It was going slow, but other than that, everything seemed to be fine. And the deer was not as large as what I thought it was, but not that it matters. Anyways, I knocked an arrow and I continued trying to follow the deer. I only found 2 more specks of blood, and I assumed that it went down by the creek and bedded somewhere again, but the problem with that is the multiple rows and the type of stuff growing along there is taller than I am, and you just cannot get through it. So, with there not being hardly any blood, with me almost positive you'd consider that a flesh wound, I honestly feel like the deer's going to be okay. There's no sense for me to keep pushing it and maybe even send it across the creek. So, not at all how I seen this evening turning out at all. So, anyways, I'm in my stand. I'm going to sit here till almost dark, and I'm going to head back to the parking area. Well, guys, I'm sitting here bumming pretty bad, so hate to wound a deer, but I just have no idea why my arrow hit as low as it did. I don't know whether I clipped a limb. I don't know whether, it was on me and I dropped the bow just as I squeezed the release. I don't know. I'll probably never know because I wasn't thinking and I didn't turn the Tacticam on. If I had that footage, I might have been able to figure it out, but none of that's going to change the fact that I ended up, slicing the chest right behind the legs on this doe. So the only thing that makes me feel a little bit better is, like I said, when I found the bed that she was laying in, there might have been like a quarter size spot of blood. And I don't know how long she'd been laying there, but if that's all the more blood there was, then she was definitely clotting up and most likely will survive that wound. So anyways, that being said, I'm not going to bother sitting here any longer. I'm going to count my losses and go ahead and get down, head out, and head back to the car and regroup tonight, and tomorrow's a new day, and look forward to getting in here and getting a fresh start first thing in the morning. So we'll see you tomorrow morning when I'm back out in the woods.